I think you should hear this.
Strava 8 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah. Have you chatted to him? Diversity, growth, and self-discovery. Today I have with me Premiership teammate of Banks Bulldogs, Dareo Rogers. Thanks for joining me, mate.
Scriv, what an honour, mate. Bit of a, I guess, time in the making.
Yeah,
But no, I'm keen to get into it. Let's chew the fat for a bit, and yeah, Premiership teammate. Wow.
yeah,
What's that? A year on now already?
yeah,
Yeah, love it,
yeah.
love it.
Pretty cool, pretty unexpected. Like, I guess you should give the backstory of how it came out because it was pretty funny. Like, we played against each other in the SFL, and you
Yeah,
actually won the flag that year.
yeah.
You, you,
It was probably even the year before that we played against each other when we lost to East Brighton, wasn't it? So
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, we played against each other for probably a couple of years. I joined the Southern
yeah,
Footy League for
yeah.
Maribena. And then yeah, it was an interesting. I don't even know how it happened. I reckon
I'll
the
tell
great
you how
Michael,
if you want.
yeah, the Michael Kinsella or something. I wanted to play up there, and somehow,
Yeah.
as he does, he's got all those connections across the world. And yeah, I guess you can tell the next bit.
So I actually was going to uni, and I was driving to Hyatt. I was parking my car there at the Woolies, and then I would get on the train and go from there, save money on
Yeah, yeah, Phil.
save money on parking and that sort of stuff. And I went to go to the bathroom. I ran into him in a public toilet at Hyatt
Is that how it
Woolies.
happened?
That's literally it. I was
Oh
like, "Oh,
wow.
g'day, mate. How you going?" And he's like, "Oh, like, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to Darwin to play footy." He's like, "Oh, Dario wants to go do that." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, like, fucking give me stuff.
Yeah,
I'll try and tee it up." And then that's how it actually happened.
mate. Everything
Uh,
happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Dude, it's crazy. Run into him in a toilet and we end up winning a flag together.
In Hyatt as well. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's near him or not. It's definitely not near me, like not near where I was living at the time. So,
No, I think he's living in the area, but I did know he was playing supers or something at Hyatt Footy Club at their ground.
oh yeah,
So I
yeah,
knew he was doing that. Funny story. Saw some game plans. I think the week before we played Hyatt on their whiteboard, they left it up or something like that, and targeted players and all that sort of stuff, which was pretty funny. He went in their rooms, but yeah, he
yeah,
was. I'm pretty sure he's around the area.
yeah, right. Well, let's talk about your footy journey then, because you played a bit of TAC Cup, been at a few clubs, won a couple flags now. Let's talk about
Yeah.
where it started for you.
Well, really started back. I was playing back at Listerfield Junior Footy Club, the Listerfield Wolves, if you know them. Um, what was that? Under sevens. Actually, can we swear on this podcast? Or
Yeah, go for it.
whoops. Under eights or something like that. And I started there, so played footy there for a couple of years, and they're a powerhouse junior footy club. I think they've had people like Tyler Sonsi, Jake Saligo, Connor McDonald drafted out of there. So they've had some talent. But yeah, eventually went on to that, went through Scoresby Footy Club as a junior as well. So it was sort of like paving the path, and it led into there. I actually loved Scoresby Football Club in the seniors. So I used to go down there, and to be honest, if I wasn't playing AFL or something like that, I just wanted to be a senior football player at Scoresby.
Mm,
I just idolised everyone down there, and we'll get into a little bit further later how it's sort of done a full 360. But yeah, I think like that club just sort of, I guess, breeded my love for football. I reckon sort of got me, yeah, feeling like where I can go. I was definitely as a junior someone who I felt like I had the talent, but I wasn't like, how can I frame this? I probably wasn't exposed and was able to show my strengths like the juniors these days are. They're very encouraged to show that. So it wasn't that they didn't, but they were probably the club who started to go like, look, you can really show a lot here. You've just got to put your mind to it and sort of not hold back. Um,
mm,
so yeah, we went through that, and then moved around to the Vermont Footy Club. Played a few years there under 17s. We lost a few flags in the under 17 Premier League. And then, yeah, COVID sort of hit. I think that's where COVID hit, and we didn't know what we were doing, which then sort of gave me that rope to get to the Oakley Chargers in the TAC Cup, which back then was the NAB League, and it's changed again. So, yeah, yeah, it was at the Chargers. Played a few games thereabouts and had some interest with certain things. But yeah, COVID hit and we all know what that created, like the draft and the talent out of there. They were only drafting what are they, father sons and academy kids, and there was a lot of like the people in my group. There was some definitely people who should be on the AFL list now.
Mm.
And it just, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to see what COVID, if it didn't happen, what could have arose from that. But yeah, went through that, and then
What was
unfortunately,
that like?
I
Knowing
think
that you
that
might be a chance and it could have been taken away.
I think the initial aspect of it was like we're just going to work so hard and just grind. Like we didn't know when we were coming back. There were talks about we are going to do a 6 week like a game, just like NAB league players, which
Mm.
was I was so excited for. Like I was probably the fittest I've ever been in that time, that year. I was just so dedicated. I was training out of Pulsate in Murrumbina with Jossie Holdsworth and Corey Hargrave, which I'm still training with Corey today. But yeah, we it was hard. It was you just sort of had to make it as you went. Like I was doing makeshift weights in my lounge room, laying on a couch and dumbbell presses and all this sort of stuff. I had a high chair thing which I was using for like Nordics or something like that. So it was crazy what we're going through. But I think I remember the return to date was the 23rd of August, and we were like, we're back on, and there was going to be no local footy, but there was going to be NAB League for draft reasons. And I was ready to go, and then I was set aside with an infection in my knee, which actually came from football book, like a gash against the
Yeah.
Northern Knights in a practice match. So went through that, and then suddenly, like, I just started getting real crook, knee pains, like fevers and everything, and I actually had like a 3 to 5 centimeter like abscess on my knee, which I had to go in for surgery for. And I think Michael Hurley had the exact same injury. You might have remembered
Oh, did he miss like a
back
season with
then.
that?
Yeah, he missed almost
Yeah.
two. Like he could have back then, they would have chopped your leg off. Like
Yeah,
that's
he
what
was
it
pretty
was to me.
close.
So
Yeah.
I had pretty much the exact same injury. I was going through like oral stuff. Like I had a pump attached to me. I had like tablets and all this sort of stuff, and it didn't work. And then I had the surgery, which yeah, it worked. But yeah, it was tough times.
What was that like for you mentally having to deal with that, like, knowing you're so close, the chance is so close, and then it's almost taken away
Yeah,
by some
it's. I
innocuous
think we'll get
injury?
into a bit further, but
Okay.
it's sort of it shapes you.
Yeah.
It shapes you probably to date. I felt like football was everything. And I reckon probably 4 years later, I worked out like, we are human. Football's not the being and end all. And why do we play football? We love the sport. It shouldn't be a chore. At the start, it was just all about trying to get drafted and just be the best player you could and sort of have that mentality of like, look, might be there, but being amongst that system, there can be a bit of tall poppy syndrome and all that sort of stuff. And people looking at you around like, oh, look, he plays in that league. So you're probably bought into that a lot more being an 18-year-old kid and a 17-year-old
Mm.
kid at the time. But yeah, mentally, it's still, our coaches were pretty good. It was just more all about process driven and not thinking about the outcome, which that's probably when I started to hear those type of, sayings and terminologies and things like that. So yeah, it definitely shaped me.
Yeah. Do you speak to any clubs, or were you speaking to any clubs?
There was a couple,
Yeah.
vaguely. There was some loose talks. I had a couple of good, like in the practice matches we had, and then the Northern Knights game was probably one of my best one. I spoke to West Coast a little bit, and that was probably the main one. There was a
Yeah.
little talk around St Kilda, but nothing much to be honest, mate. It was West
Yeah.
Coast the main talks about with certain like conversations, but nothing what really sparked like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
There was a fair few talks, but yeah, my grandmother, she didn't know what was going on. She just wants the best for me and all that sort of stuff. And she's like, oh, what's this? And I was just trying to explain to her, and she's like, oh, it will just be what will be. So yeah, it sort of brought life into reality a little bit.
Yeah. And then where did you move on from there? So obviously, yeah, that top age year's done, and then where did you head from there?
Yeah,
You
the
say,
top age year's done. I think. Oh, that was actually probably the overage year. Actually, no,
yeah.
top age year. Actually, that was a top age year, and then I stayed on at as a like a overager. They call it like a. They can pick. I think it's 5 to 6 like 19-year-olds or something who have got the ability to still like get drafted, who they think they can keep on and try and push. But yeah, I was at the Old Trinity Football Club in the amateurs then, so that was a good experience. I was playing senior football at the age of 17. I got the opportunity. That was the best next step, leaving Vermont to still try and spark that dream. And I think it did. It had its challenges. Like at the age of 17, like coming in, you're raw. You just want to showcase what you got. And
Mm,
I've barely played footy in 2 years with COVID, and then I've come out and played against grown men. I remember we played against St. Kevin's one day, and Tom Boyd, who the famous Tom Boyd from the Bulldogs Premiership story, I was running back with the flight, and then it like bounced up, and then he's just like body lined me and just cleaned me
mm,
up, and that was a big like welcome to football moment. Um, in the Amos, but yeah, played with Old Trinity for I think I only played like 8 games because it was still through that COVID time.
yeah,
And then
2021.
yeah, it was that year. So went through that, and then what else, mate? I can tell you. Been to a few clubs now, and then that's where the Murrumbina, um, I guess, dynasty and opening doors opened up.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I honestly, after all what we just spoke about there, and the whole Oakley journey, and the potentially of like still chasing my dream to like a young 16 to 18-year-old kid, and then going to play at Old Trinity. And I probably private school footy is a funny one. It's they're great blokes, and it's tough, and it's really really good football. I probably would say it's probably one of the best standard of football I've played in to date in terms of like the pace. And there's heaps of ex VFL players, AFL. There's VFL listed players, so you are really getting a fast quality game. But I just lost my love for footy. That's as simple as that. I went through a stage where I was just like, I'm doing this as a chore. Going to the gym and following these programs is to tick a box. It's not for because I love doing it. Um, and I think it was I spoke to the great Michael Kinsella, who's a mentor and definitely someone who he's a shoulder to lean on a lot for me. So I spoke to him. I was out with a couple of the boys the year before, and we were out having a few drinks, and he just sort of introduced himself, and we had a chat, and we are joking around about coming to Murrumbina and all this sort of stuff. And he's like, "Mate, I love your flair. I love your shit stirring, and all this sort of stuff, and what you bring. So come across." And we just sort of had that conversation. And then a year later, I called Steve Toolongs from Marabina, and I just said, "Mate, I was pretty always in contact with him through Pulsate in the centre there." And I just said, "Mate, I need someone to play. I want to have fun with football. I just want to feel like that local football club vibe where you can have fun, you win games, there's a crowd, you have fun after the game. We work hard when we're there, but yeah, I just want to enjoy my football and not have the pressures of people looking at you from a recruiter point of view or trying to get on a VFL list again or whatever it may be." So yeah, I just had that conversation, and it ended up being one of the best decisions I made.
Mm. Yeah, and Slick is he's a real big supporter of you. Like when I we had that little Banks
The whole
connection, I
podcast,
remember he sent
yeah.
me through like a whole file of all your clips and all this stuff cut out to send through and try and,
Did he
obviously
really?
to try and, yeah, yeah, all
Far out.
highlights and all this sort of stuff.
Doesn't
Like, yeah,
doesn't surprise me, but
had it all sorted to try and do whatever he can to help you advance your footy.
no, he's I honestly he's someone if yeah anything where I just need a vent or I call him regularly, so
Yeah,
I've got a lot of time for that man. And I wouldn't say he's like a second dad, but I would probably say he would be, to be honest. He's
Unk.
I've got the most praise for him,
Yeah, yeah,
um, and yeah, what we've been through at Warrenbina, and that club especially. He's I reckon a lot of it's to do with him.
yeah. So did you join when they were in Div 3 or 2?
Uh, Was it? No,
Because they
Div
went from
2.
3 to
Yeah,
1.
so
Yeah.
they lost to Black Rock in the Premiership.
Yeah.
And then they went up to Div 2. I joined that year.
Yeah.
Um, Sort of, yeah, just had a bit of fun. Met a few close mates of mine still to date. And yeah, just loved it, mate. Like I was just kicking the football, going, how good's this? Like I'm kicking the football. I'm running around. I'm having fun. Like this is what it's about.
Mm.
And then yeah, it actually I played my best football in like the last few years because of it. So as they say, when you're having fun and your football does show in that, you don't
Yeah,
want it
for
to be a
sure.
chore. So yeah,
And then, yeah, how many games did you lose when you won the flag? Not many, if any.
we only lost to the year we won I think in 3 years of football we lost maybe 4 or 5 games in total.
Yeah, so good.
But the year we won the flag, we only lost to Dufton away, and that was a big wake up call. So that was 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dufton was a big wake up call. I think we were drinking our own bathwater a little bit, and we actually did
Mm.
say we probably said we need a loss if we're going to go all the way to. And I reckon
Yeah.
there was some really good hard truths and conversations. Even with myself, I was probably a culprit of that. I was probably not playing in the way I probably should have. And yeah, got some hard truths by our captain. And yeah, the back end of the year tells the rest of the story and the finals run. So yeah, we only lost the one game in the premiership year.
Yeah. And then how did you go in that grand final?
Oh, mate. Nah, it was good. I had fun. It's one of the best days of my life, and yeah, we went well. We won the flag, and that's all that matters.
Mm. Yeah, so the people watching and listening, Dario got best on in that grand final. We kick
Uh,
4,
yeah, 4-2 or
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And I remember when we played in the grand final like 6 months later. So we won 2 flags in 6 months. And you
Mm,
were saying that one thing that stuck out for you or advice you were given was remember 3 things for the day.
mm, yeah.
Yeah. And what were those 3 things for you on that Marabina
In
flag?
the Murrabina flag, I actually do
Yeah.
remember this. When did that conversation come about? I reckon that was just a normal. Was it just a normal home and away game,
Yeah,
or
I
was it
reckon
on
it
the grand
was.
final? I spoke to you.
I don't know. I don't know if it was before the granny or, but I remember having it.
Yeah, yeah. I said, yeah, someone told me just like remember 3 things throughout the day because it's gonna be a blur. And I tell
Mm.
you what, I reflect on the grand final, our Banks one, our my Maribena one all the time. Like that's probably the one thing I do think about in the past is just that because I want to get back there. Probably after you sort of settle on and you're like, oh, I'm content. But now I do. But going back to your question, the 3 things I remember was of the actual day was the final siren. I remember being in the middle of the ground and dropping to my knees with Geordie Pollard. I remember our captain was next to me. The next one was hugging my grandmother when I jumped the fence after the game. I ran over to her and I jumped the fence, and yeah, just tears were coming out. And then one of my best mates, I remember I was like celebrating, and he like turned to me, um, and I just saw him in front of me, and I was like, wow. And he just like gave me the biggest hug and was just like spraying beer all over me and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, they're the 3 things. So yeah, my best mate, the final siren, and then run over to hug my grandmother.
Yeah. It's so cool. And then what's the experience like of being, so you've just won a flag, you think you're having an off season and then you get the call and you go play in Darwin. So you played 7 games.
Mm.
What's it like preparing for that? You're not training, you got to fly
Yeah.
in, play, and then fly home. What's that experience like for those that don't know?
Yeah, I highly suggest it. Anyone who's got the fortunate enough, like be able to fortunately go over there and do that, and or like you have relocated. But for flying in, it is tough. Like, don't get me wrong, it had its moments, and you think it's all good and well for the first couple of games, but when you probably I think we lost a game and we dropped where we had to play an extra final, and I had to fly in 2 weeks in a row, a week off, and then another week back in. So it takes its toll. So back from the grand final, you have your celebrations back in here in Victoria. You probably go for about a week, and you're done, completely done. And then I'm off to Bali with my best mate and my girlfriend and his girlfriend. So we're off there, we're off to Bali, and we're like, great, like keep partying a little bit more. And grand final time comes around for the AFL, and I think I remember Robbie, the great guru. He's like, yeah, mate, we're playing. Can you play in 2 weeks or a week? It was probably he confirmed it, and I
Mm.
was like, mate, I haven't run or anything. Like, I haven't done anything. I've probably done a bit of buys and tries in the gym. That's about it. Um, and so I just jumped on the treadmill in Bali and just sweat it out. And I was like, oh, as long as I can do some sprint stuff, I'll be all right with my hammies and keep them sharp. And I was pretty good. But I got back and I had a week to prepare. So I did a huge session on the Tuesday or something like that. Kept my gym up. And then I was like, all right, whatever, here we go. Let's see what it's like. And I tell you what, I was not ready for the Darwin experience. I remember my first game. We played. Who did we play? Pint, actually. So we beat Pint in the granny. Played Pint round one or round
Grand
two.
final
It was
rematch
actually.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So it was grand final rematch from the boys the year before. And first game. I remember 3 minutes in, I came off and I said, "Fuck, I'm not doing this again. There is no chance." Um, and then I was like, "I'm not going to be playing in the NT. There's no chance with this." Um, so yeah, just sort of gritted away, and then eventually started, getting used to the climate. But for anyone who doesn't know, it's 80% humidity. Early in the season, it's about 35 degrees at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. You want the night game, so it's a bit cooler, and you're just exhausted. So I think with all that, I've probably learned I've got to get back into shape around recovery and making sure I'm prepped, especially with your hydration. You've got to week to week. It's not just a Friday night, scull a couple of Powerades, have some bowl of pasta, and as you would know, you're probably one of the best for it for preparation. So um, learn to prepare well. But the flights, they're always fun. Flying in, probably you get in 1 a.m. Melbourne time, 12 p.m. Darwin time.
Mm.
You play, let's just say we've got a 3 o'clock game on a Saturday. You play, then you've got a midnight flight out, and you arrive back at 6:30 in the morning the next on a Sunday. So you're pretty much flying in, get to sleep, wake up, get ready for the game, and fly out. So the night games are a little bit easier. You got a bit squeeze in a nap and get a bit of walking in and catch up with a few of the boys. But I loved it, mate. It was the best, and winning another flag, 2 flags in 6 months. Probably wouldn't read about it.
Mm. Yeah, it's funny though, because I think there was 7 guys from that team that won 2 flags.
That
So
year.
yeah, yeah. So they
Yeah,
went like Banks won, and then quite a few won again back in whatever state that they were from, which is pretty
yeah,
crazy. But
yeah. They went back after that as well. If they didn't do it like I did from a
yeah,
local point of view, they actually
yeah,
won Banks and then went into the season.
yeah. I think that there was 11 of us that went back to back at Banks this year, so that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
And
I'm spewing I couldn't be a part of that, but so great. So cool to see you guys go back to back, and
yeah,
yeah,
it'll be even better to have a crack at the Premier League this year. It's been a long time
I
coming,
reckon
and it's
so.
not even confirmed yet, but it's almost there. So
Is it still not
um,
confirmed?
no, it's they reckon in the high 90% it's done, but I mean
Yeah, well,
it has to be done. It's not fair. We went the season undefeated. We've won 2 flags in a row. I think
yeah,
4 of the last 5. It's time.
yeah, exactly. Like it's a powerhouse club. Just
Hmm.
give us the opportunity, and I think as well, like there's the affiliation through the Tiwi Bombers, but that can
Hmm.
easily be fixed. I know there's complications with it, but yeah, for a team who keeps making grand finals and we've won 4 out of the last 5, as you said.
Yeah,
Yeah, see what we can
yeah,
do.
it's well overdue.
That's it.
Yeah. So from there, you're stuck at Murrumbeena the next year. Didn't have as good a year, obviously going up.
Mm.
You had a few suspension injuries, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What
That
was that
was
like?
that's probably I probably would say it that's a challenging time in the way of like frustration. The first time I've really dealt with like I guess a frustration point of view of like wow like where am I? Was very foggy. I felt going into that. I
Mm.
probably coming from the banks. Honey, our president said he goes, "Hey, you're the sharpest I've seen you from a football point of view. Like you've come from the grand final from Murrumbeena, had a very good season, probably the best season I've had to date. Go away playing the NT. The part of the reason I went up there, one for the experience, but it was to benefit my football. Like
Mm.
I told everyone, it was for a benefit of skill, get used to the climate in the heat. So when I come back, I'm fitter than I've ever been. I'm more skillful than I've ever been. And I played. I didn't play one practice match. I let the boys. I didn't join them. But then the second practice match we played, I was. I just felt such in a flow state. Like I just felt so clean. I was engaging with my teammates a lot more around getting them involved in the game. Like that's one of my biggest strengths is getting other people in the game. But I felt like it went to the next level, and um, yeah, it just went off from there. And then we played round one, and yeah, the incident of me getting suspended was a pretty lengthy time. It was just a late bump, and to be honest, I probably thought it wasn't probably wasn't the best. Like I didn't think I deserved it, but that's in the hands of the tribunal, and everyone said it was pretty stiff, but that's all right, and life moves on. But yeah, 6 weeks I think I copped with the suspension, and then I came back and I played a few games. I struggled a little. Actually, I came back for an interleague game. That was my very first game, which was bizarre. So I was like,
Yeah.
I've been suspended here, and then they've allowed me to play interleague for my very first game for not being suspended. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we I think we lost that. Yeah, we did. We lost that game, and I played a few more, and then I started getting some soreness in my foot, which I didn't think much of, and then back end of the year, I probably missed the last 3 games with a stress fracture through my foot, which set me back pretty much until this preseason. I only just got back in January, so it's been a bit of a lengthy one.
Yeah. Right. What's that like? The footy, like you said, is a bit of an identity, and then
Mm.
again, it's taken away from you. So it's not the first time this has happened. And you start not able to
Mm.
play, but this time you have to watch all your mates play as well.
Yeah, I definitely yeah. For such a small, I guess, comp, um, I guess there was a little bit of spotlight at times, and I felt people could get under my skin a fair bit, and I learnt that in 2024 to not bite back. I would say, and then this happened, and I was like, wow, here we go again. And I probably took some personal deeper dive into myself and what that looked like around yeah, staying calm and present in moments in football. But yeah, definitely, I just felt lost again, helpless.
Mm.
I hate that. I hate seeing people um, going through stuff and not being able to help. With whether that's family or whether it's football, like I think it's a pretty powerful thing when something gets taken away from you. What it can really open up.
Mm. So what
So,
are if you can give people an insight of what it's like
mm,
mentally when that happens, where does the mind go?
yeah, the mind goes a lot of places. For me, it's like initially, this is where I've started to learn to take a breath, and a few people have said with time, all heals wound type thing. So yeah, at the start, it was all like sort of like blaming, like why me? You know, like I don't want to play football anymore. Like I'm sick of this. Like I feel like I was the victim a lot with it. And
Mm.
that was the initial thoughts, like driving home in the car and all that sort of stuff. And but you start to, you have a night's sleep, and it's amazing what the next day presents itself for me. And I just thought, you know what, this is an opportunity how I can get better. And I always have like we're human, right? So we probably have these initial thoughts with a lot of things. We're like, what the fuck, like why is it me? All this sort of stuff. But what I've learned over these like injuries and hardship, and even in 2024 with like the passing of my grandfather is pretty heavily noted. I felt like it was you sort of go, how can I get better? And that's where your mindset changes to, and that's probably where my mindset went after time. How can I get better? What can I do to improve other people? And I had a chat with our with Kinsella and Slick about that around like what can I do for the team to get better. And for me, initially it was like, right, I'm going to get as fit as possible, which probably then led to me being injured again with a stress fracture. Um,
Mm.
but then for the team, it was all about just being present for them, like being there for their pre-game meetings, being there for their line meetings, speaking up where possible, and giving some insights where they might not see. And then as a not just so much about football, but as a person, it's like, how can I get better at other things around home and like when you're out and about, like just being more present with your family. Because I think my family would say, and for me, I guess I'm pretty selfish in the way when it is football season, like, and it is, and I'll own that. It is all about football because how much I care, but I've also learned to balance it a little bit more and not being so cutthroat about it. But yeah, like I said at the start, it goes into you start to blame why me, poor me type scenario, and then you start to shift around how can you get better and yeah, how can I improve as a person?
What steps did you take to make yourself get better and improve? Like you said, be present, be more present, and be at team meetings and that sort of stuff. Is there anything else that you think that someone else can do as well if they're thinking, I need it, how can I get better? What they can do to action that?
Yeah, I think we'll speak to the people around you around some key. Like I spoke to Slick, and I keep mentioning his name, but I spoke to him about. I think at the start you've just got to let yourself breathe a bit around it, and just sort of let time pass, and then it's like um, sort of looking into other people. For me, helping get better was if it's walking the dog and not taking the time not to not do that, or going out for a dinner with family, and just sort of taking the pressure away around I've got to do all this, and you've got to be there at this time. You've got to do that. It's more like, well, I've actually got a bit more time on my hands, so um, what can I do into filling the time? And at the end of the day, I can't control me being out on the field. I can only control um, helping plays and drills. I think there was like 4 week period where it probably made myself get better as a footballer because I was so invested in helping other people in my team around drills and being like a number type thing. I
Mm.
knew I couldn't be like I remember this one moment we're doing this drill and it was like a match sim scenario. And normally I would be like that person in a certain situation. It was like a midfield stoppage or something like that to a forward transition. But it's like, well, hang on a minute. We've got a young 19-year-old kid there who is playing senior football at the moment. He's killing it. Like, let him have the repetition of those drills and let him do that. So that's sort of where my mind went and what I did, and just control what you control in those situations. My
Mm.
fitness, my attitude was a big one, and just helping other people, I think.
Yeah, nice. Love that. So you touched on before your grandfather. I remember seeing the article in
Yeah,
the, was it the AFL? Do you want to
yeah,
touch on that?
wow,
Touch on him?
yeah, nah, yeah. If I don't get it too emotional, no, it's I guess I'm not blessed, but it was such a cool thing to experience with the AFL and the article with all that. So a little bit back to 2024 with the grand final. At the start of the year when I lost him, I think when you talk about mental health and where that can take you and opportunities that presents itself, I reckon that whole year I was the most calmest person in terms of life, football, how I went about games, because it was all on the back of like anything what happens now is not going to be as much as pain as I was in from losing someone like who was so close to you.
Mm.
Like no matter like why am I stressing about if I've had banana, rice, and honey before a game, or if I had sushi when I kicked 4 goals in that game, I should go back to that routine or anything. Like, that's where my mind used to go. But now, like, I was like, whatever happens, like, I'm just going to have fun. We're going to live this journey. And I sort of, yeah, losing him, it was, yeah, one of the hardest times of my life. I think how I lost him as well was in a situation where I was actually out on a night out. So um, I found out why I was out, and that probably faced some challenges around. Still to date, I probably around some anxiety and all that sort of stuff around like the fact that I used to honestly like I'd go out sometimes and I'd probably think. like something bad was going to happen, all from the fact of like him passing in the moment. How I found out, I just felt like I would be in certain situations and I'd be like something bad's going to happen. Like
Mm.
that's how I felt. But yeah, that whole year and people, it's yeah, a little bit spoken of, and yeah, that whole year was dedicated to him, and yeah, winning the flag was. I had him on my boots, I had him on my wrist tape when I ran out, and I always looked up at the sky before I ran out. So he was always there, and that's what made grand final day even special. And yeah, I guess the famous photo, I wouldn't say famous, not famous at all, but the famous article that got shared around within my inner circle, you would like to say, was pretty cool. It was a photo of, I guess, relief, joy. We've done it, and everything what was dedicated for that grand final was all for him in my eyes. For me personally, it motivated me throughout the year, and yeah, the article written just it's a story of mine, and it's a story I've been through and a journey which I hope some people can see that, with tough times, you can get through things. And I've still got challenges I work and things what, remind me of him, and I guess some mental health stuff which, sort of sparks some triggers around him and everything like that. But yeah, there's some actions in place where, I sort of come back to being present, doing things for me and family, which try and keep me occupied. But nah, he's yeah, love him to bits, and I feel like yeah, that was a special year.
Yeah, what was so special about your relationship with him? Like, why just share such a strong bond?
Yeah, I think he was the one who told me to barrack for Essendon when I was little.
So
So
he set you up for
he
failure,
yeah, he set me up for failure. Absolutely, we should be playing in the Southern Footy League at the moment.
mate.
Nah,
I'm an
nah.
Essendon supporter as well, so I know how you feel.
Yeah, I know. I stopped going for Essendon since Zaharakis retired, mate. um, oh, he was my favourite player. But no, so I think I think going back to from that was probably the start with him, with him showing me football, and yeah, he would never miss a game. The only reason he would miss a game would be either work commitments or he was sick, and he was very rarely sick. He would do anything for family. So, and even if he was crook, he would still be there. So, and him and my grandmother would always sit together in the same pocket of the ground and watch me play, and I would hear all the stories of him talking about me, telling my nan like I've got the ball or whatever, and she wouldn't be able to see where I am, and the game's going too fast, and she would just be hearing him call the game pretty much. He was his own, commentator. So yeah, he would just be there at every football game. After every football game, win, loss, draw, always hug him after the game, and he'd tell me how proud it was me and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I would do just like little things in the backyard and clean the garden with him or whatever it may be. And we could have some honest conversations too. He was someone I could actually go to who would yeah, I would tell him I'm going through tough time. He would pick out if I knew something was wrong. So if I'd have the shits with someone or my grandmother or someone like that or dad or anyone, he would be able to see that, and he would probably be able to pull me aside and calm me down and go, "What's wrong?" So, yeah, football probably bonded us the most, and family, just that tight knit family connection,
Mm.
and that's probably where it all started.
How important do you think it is for a young man to have a relationship with a male role model like your granddad, someone that can be there to support you, tell you is proud of you, and then call
Mm,
you out or
yeah,
support you when you're struggling?
100%. I think the importance of it isn't so much to tell them what to do and you should do this and why don't you try this. I think it's more about just being there. Like he knew when he needed to be there, but also for me, I felt like I never really like would go to him too much. I'd be like, hey, like I'm struggling with this, or it would just be like he would just know. But I always knew he was there, so he was never pushy, and I think he like read me pretty well around the timing of when he needed me to vent, or I needed to vent, and he was there. So I think the importance of it is, yeah, it's great if you can get someone like that personal connection, great. Sometimes I feel like that can have its challenges around like you're so emotionally and personally connected that you don't see eye to eye and you clash because you both want the best for each other or vice versa. Um, but yeah, someone who externally or whatever that may be
Mm.
is so important, and male too. Like the connection of understanding around sports and what we go through and the challenges like we live it. Females also good too. I feel like there's some wonderful females out there who can help and guide, and yeah, they're really good. But I think that male connection definitely bonds us closer.
What's a best piece of advice or support that your grandfather gave you?
Best piece of advice or support. Wow, this is authentic, and I love it. I'd probably, I think the support and the message. I think growing up, when I was little, he would always say how proud and how what like yeah how proud of it like he is of me,
Mm.
and sort of like where I've been and what I've come through, and he would always say, I just want you to never forget that. So just
Yeah.
always just being there and just saying how proud he was of me. It's cliche, but how powerful that can be, and I can picture looking at him and like now and thinking about like him saying that. I think yeah, that's probably the best piece of advice or encouragement he's given me, and it's so simple, but yeah, definitely sticks in my heart.
What does that mean for you when you've come off and you think you might have had a bad, or you've had a bad day? It doesn't need to relate to
Mm,
footy, and having him say that he's proud of you, like
mm.
unconditionally.
Actually, funny enough, I probably had that moment a couple of weeks ago. I was just driving and I was just yeah foggy and just thinking about like just stuff, and I was just like, I just sort of looked in the distance and it was a blue sunny day, and I was like sky, no cloud in the sky, and I was like just thinking of him, and I sort of probably went actually back to what he would say and moments we had, and it sort of triggered me to go like, oh, that's all right, like I'm here, um, we're all right. So yeah, it has its impact.
Mm. Yeah, I can't believe like how great your perspective was after he passed as well about the 2024 season
Mm,
and saying it doesn't matter that much. You don't need to get so pedantic about your pre-game meal and that sort of thing in the grand scheme of things. Like one
mm,
tiny change isn't gonna cause the end of your game, and I think I have had to teach myself that as well. I mean, I get pretty
yeah,
superstitious around my preparation, and that actually can be more detrimental because you're overthinking it and wasting energy on
mm,
something that in the end isn't going to impact your performance that much. Like I've had to simplify mine a lot, and I think that's really helped.
100%. What do you think's helped with you too? Like, um, what have you simplified?
I used to get pretty full on like about eating the same meal every Friday, and it is still
Yeah,
pretty similar, but it's
yep,
less obsessive.
yep,
Um, but yeah, now it's just I'll have like steak and rice, like some carbs, some protein,
mm,
a little bit of fat. And then on a Saturday morning, it's just a bit of fruit. Like used to be like, all right, I need to eat this much, this
yeah.
exact same thing at
Timeline,
this
yeah,
time. And now it's relatively like that, but I'm not going to lose
mm,
sleep over it.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
I used to be like that too. I used to have to certain hours, but like it's more. I think I found it's like routine is good,
yeah.
and that's fine. But I sort of learnt like if something happens in that routine and it like makes me sort of have to pivot, like that's you've got to be able to adapt to that. Like what happened
Mm,
was, I know I remember here in Essendon, traveling to Geelong, and you probably would have heard this story around them on the bus, and they were running late or something like that, and they had to get strapped on the bus because they were running late, and I think they got to the game like an hour before the game started.
mm,
So it's like at the end of the day, we're going out to play football, and like as long as you prepare well, and it's cliche during the week, you do you tick off your what you need to do. Some people, can do nothing and they kill it, but I think it's all about having that clear head. Like I think it comes down to as well. Like I've had games where I've been crook as a dog all week, gone out there, and I've had a really good game, but it still comes down to me being clear minded, and I ticked a couple of little things off, but
Yeah.
it's football at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's huge because I'm a big overthinker, and I used to just get like I'd play the game out before it had even started.
Mm,
And in 2023, I started going to the beach. There's a
yeah,
community there, and go do breath work and dip in the ocean, and
yeah,
then go to a cafe and have brekkie, and then
yeah. I saw us
playing
doing that.
footy. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it was good. Like I'd be hanging out with mates, and I've done some
yeah,
stuff for myself, and the last thing I'm thinking about is footy, and then I'll
yeah.
piss off at make sure I'm at footy by 12. But I haven't thought about the game at all. I've been ruminating. I've got gone, does the breath
Mm,
work, cleared my head, jumped in the ocean, and if it was a home game, if I was close enough, I'd then go to the gym,
yeah,
just
hundred
moving my
percent.
body a bit, get a bit of a pump, so I feel good
Mm.
rather than stressing about the game. I'm like, fucking just feeling up and about. Let's go. And you play
Hundred
better because you're
percent.
free. Yeah.
100%. I used to do that too. I used to play the game out before my hand. I was like my girlfriend. She would I wouldn't be able to speak to her, or she wouldn't be able to speak to me before the game, like early days, because it's like, no, I can't do this. Or even a dinner before the game on a Friday night, it was like, no, like that is not happening.
Yeah.
Funny, night before the grand final for the Murrumbeena one, I went to the pub with some family and friends, and I had probably half a beer because I don't even know what I was thinking. I've never drank it before a game,
Mm.
and no one probably knows this, and it's come out now. But I had honestly just like a meal because I was like, whatever, we're going out for a meal. It's going to distract me. Like, let's just go. It's a night before a grand final. I've done everything, and like if I did this years ago, I would have been like freaking out. Like, I'm going to play shit. Like, I've done this. I need to go go for a run or something like that. But yeah, family friend just like goes, mate, do you want a beer? And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just it was a pot, and I had like half of it, and then I was still drinking water at the time. Like with it, I had a water bottle, and it's like whatever. Woke up still fine, did my prep, ate my breakfast, and like I know there's players in local football who have 3 or 4 beers before the game, and
Yeah.
that just relaxes them, and yeah, but. That's not something I do now. Like I still don't drink before a game or anything. Like let's
Yeah.
not think that. But it was just like whatever. Yeah, cool. I've done everything. I'm so excited for tomorrow and turning the nervous energy into excitement. That's a big one. But yeah, it just goes to show, if your mind's clear, you can really do some cool things.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still pretty like I can't have gluten in from Thursday because I just feel
Really?
inflamed and feel heavy. Yeah, I noticed that last year when I was playing for Lilydale, I was like, fuck, my boots are too
Mm,
tight, my feet hurt, my calves are
yeah,
like tight.
yeah,
And it's because I was just going hard, like in Lilydale, Italian club,
yeah, yeah.
big passes and that sort of thing. And I just
Really,
felt like heavy as. And then I'd switch to gluten free. Like that, Lilydale's the best, man. Like they would like make me and one other bloke gluten free dinner.
really. That's
And
sick.
yeah, I just felt better. I thought I
Mm,
needed a bigger size of boots, and it was literally just I was that inflamed. And then after that, it was fine.
wow, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's I wouldn't not have thought about
One
anything
sec,
heavier.
I've lost your voice.
You got me now.
My headphones died. Give me 2 secs. Try that.
Yeah, you got me.
Come on, you piece of shit.
Does that work?
Um,
Hope you got some cropping skills, mate.
says I've got headphones in, but I don't, so that's annoying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just my I've got the mic plugged in, so I've just taken it out. So that's
Yeah,
a
easy.
now, so bear with me. So,
Yeah, all good. It still says it's recording on my end, but
oh
I think
fuck, it's saying
50-30,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, that's uploading what we've done so far.
Oh, okay.
All right, you can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I can't hear you. That's fucking.
Got ya? Got ya?
I'll just go with that from now on. That's all right.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyway. Uh, where were we? I forgot.
um, well, you
Oh, yeah,
just,
talking about being inflamed.
yeah, routine with that.
Yeah. I just noticed I ran better, felt better.
Mm, that's good.
Um, and yeah, I just noticed now when I eat gluten, I just feel heavy. Like,
Mm,
so that's the only thing now that I'm still like, I can't have that before a game, and I'll just have black coffee as well. Like, so no
yeah,
dairy on a Saturday morning, and just feel a
yeah.
bit lighter. Yeah.
I try some things. I still am learning around what that can be, and I guess yeah, coffee before a game. That's a big one. I'm trying to time that a little bit. Like first
Mm.
thing when I wake up, I'll have electrolytes and magnesium the night before.
Yeah.
Get on Pillar Performance if anyone hasn't got on them. I think they're the best in the business. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, trial and error. Was like, who cares? We're gonna die one day, and we're not like yeah, just trial some things around it. Like I've tried banana rice and honey. I've tried Subway. Sushi. Like I think it's that old like overthinking thing you were talking about before around um, like you have one good game and you do something. And I used to be like, right, trace every step all the way back to what that is, and then I think it's just yeah, try and get into a routine, and do that, which is that's a funny one.
Yeah. In 2018, I had a HSP on the Friday night, got best on the Saturday.
No way.
Did it the next week, got best on. So for the next 3 years, I had HSP every Friday night. 4 years, I think, until maybe actually 5 years, 2023.
Yeah,
Like round 1 or 2, I stopped doing it. I just did the lamb meat with the rice, and then I was
yeah,
just scrapped it because my guts are fucked on a Saturday. I think that's just getting older as well. Your body
yeah, hundred
handles better
percent.
as well. But
Were you
what?
hung over? Were you hung over the first time you had that HSP? Were you
Nah,
drinking the night before and you're hung over?
no. But that 2018 was the year I stopped drinking before playing. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, but I was 22. I just turned 22 that year, and I moved
Mm,
to a new club, in the Northern League, and it's the first time I ever got offered money to play, and I
yeah,
like better lock in here. Where the year
yeah, hundred
before,
percent.
I wasn't when I was playing seniors, but I was a bit dirty on the fact that the way I was getting treated at the time,
Yeah,
and when I was 18, 19, we were dominating in the Colts,
yeah,
and we were just going to get fucked up on a Friday, play
yeah,
Saturday, didn't care, and had fun and played well.
yeah,
And that's probably part of it, not overthinking it. You just rocked up and you're still half pissed and we just played footy.
Hey, there's that many players I've played with. I reckon even junior days, under 17 players rocking up. Like Sunday, like we would play on a Sunday in juniors back then, and
Yeah.
they still do. But like 3 o'clock game, which was the worst. Like you think going to work on a Monday after playing football or going out on a piss on a Saturday is the worst.
Yeah.
Playing football on a Sunday at 3 p.m. and you have to go to school. That hey, that was the worst. But yeah, players would rock up and you'd be like, "Holy shit, where were you?" And they were like, "Oh, we're at this person's 16th birthday or something like that." It was yeah, and yeah, they just kill it. Like there was a couple, I'm not going to name names, but there's a couple of people I played with who were probably out on the piss on a Saturday night every week,
Yeah.
and they'd rock up to junior footy on a Sunday and they would kill it.
Yeah.
So don't change what's not broken.
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhat. I think the one of the father.
Yeah, they're not playing anymore. Let's just say.
Yeah. Fuck. It's probably one person I reckon I played under 19 with still playing footy at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
two, the McConville cousins.
Mm.
Right. That's it.
They all drop off. People do drop off. There's so many people out there who you're like, wow, remember that kid? He was a freak, and they go missing. Don't
Yeah.
ever see him again.
Yeah. So we were alluding to it before. I can't remember what exactly we were talking about, but like missing the top age year and having struggles and adversity, and you said we get to it
Mm.
better. Let's
Yeah, yeah,
that there's challenges of having things taken away and there's some adversity you face.
yeah. I think we probably touched on it a little bit around the Maribena stuff. Going there and it just opened my perspective on like football is not everything, and it took me a long time. Like I said, from 15 to yeah, 18, 19, you think it's the world. Like you would honestly, the way I would live, and I don't regret it because I don't regret anything in life. I guess it's just all about learnings and the journey. But I think everything I did was for football. Like it'd be like, right, I've got to go to train, I've got to do this, I've got to eat this. It's all for football. It's like Dario the person, Dario the footballer, and that's where I think Kinsella helped me a lot around like support, and you need to like be kind to yourself. So yeah, I think just we're human, and there's not two like yes, there's two types of people in a way from like different scenarios, but I think there is like I'm me, and that's all it is. Like I play football, I'm a family man. I love my mates. I love just living life, and that's as simple it is to it. Like I started to learn that and not think it's just all about football. Um, so yeah, that was probably something I started to
Shit.
learn. Yeah,
Family man and
yeah. I guess being family is a lot, and what that relates to about what we're speaking about, and the challenges it presents. So just being more present with it all, and as I said around football and family, it's um, I really started to just learn about how football's not everything, and like at the end of the day, we're humans, and what we do and being a good person is a lot more important. Like I listen to a lot of motivational stuff, and it's funny. I save a lot of stuff on Instagram whenever there's little clips, or I've got in my phone actually a lot of quotes. Every time I hear a quote, I write it down and who it's by. Um,
yeah.
Whether it's in a work meeting or if it's just on a podcast or if it's whatever. Like I love that stuff, and sometimes when you think you're getting better than yourself, or you think you're not good enough, or whatever it may be, just going back to that sometimes and reading through them, and it sort of goes, wow, it brings you little moments of where that was, and it can motivate you.
What's the couple you've got? Couple favorite.
Um, well, I can go through a couple.
Yeah.
The first one I ever wrote down was "There's no elevator to success. You've got to take the stairs," and that was by Novak Djokovic. But then also Craig McRae harping on that in their premiership year with Collingwood. So around when he went over, I think overseas, and he saw these big stairs in, I think it was America, the big yellow stairs all the way up to the top, and everyone was catching the elevator, everyone, and it was like. He's like, I'm going to take the stairs. So he took the stairs, and I think Collingwood in their first day of pre-season, they went to the MCG and they ran up all the stairs or something like that. And he pretty much just said, like, look, if you want to take the elevator, There's no elevator to success, is there? And if you want to do that, you'll be watching out on the MCG when in September, and you'll watch other teams win and hold up a flag. But if you want to
Mm.
take the stairs, there's a Premiership Cup at the end of it. So um, there's a few around that. I think one the other day I actually heard I wrote down. This is probably one of my favorite actually. Um, Communication is a form of respect. If you respect someone, you'll respond as soon as you can. Busy isn't an issue, priority is. So um, I don't know where that was from. It was someone, I think it was a female actually reading out. So yeah, communication is a form of respect. If you respect someone, you'll respond as soon as you can. Busy isn't the issue, the priority is. So every time like my grandmother or someone from family or work even, if they pop up on the phone, I'll respond as soon as possible, unless like I'm tied up with something and my hands are full or whatever it may be. But or someone close to you, I think yeah, like I think when we've chatted a little bit, I try and respond pretty quickly too because it's just that respect piece. And yeah, if you respect someone, you'll respond and communicate well. But I think we tend to have that side of things where you can sort of, oh yeah, I'll get back to that later and I'll just leave that. Like, yeah, there is a time and a place for that, but do you really respect what is
Mm.
that person, or are you like, oh nah, I don't care?
Mate, I relate to that so much. It's a great quote, and it brings up a bit for me because I actually responded to someone's voice note today, and it was
Mm,
from what month are we now? It was from May 4th, so it's
yeah,
11 days. It might have even been April 4th. I don't know. It was from a while
yeah,
ago. And I was just like, fuck, I just didn't have capacity. But really, if it was proper respect, I should have replied straight away. And there's plenty of people that I'll leave on red for a couple of days because I'm like, I've just got too much on, like I can't do it. But
yeah, yeah.
that's for where I'm at. But also, when there's some people, I'll be bang straight on straight away. So it is a reflection of who I'm giving my energy to, and maybe the respect that I'm respecting certain people higher, or maybe I'm not giving some people the respect they deserve as well. And I need to
I
be
get,
honest
yeah,
with myself about that.
100%. I think, and that's cool to hear too. Like I've done that before too, but I've got a tendency to just leave them on unread sort of thing, so I know it's still there in
Yeah, yeah,
so it's visual.
yeah.
If I click read and I just move it, I think when I see people who have read messages and it's like a week, like you sort of said, or a couple of days or a couple of hours, I get it, you're busy, but um, yeah, I sort of relate it back to family. It's like I remember someone saying years ago, um, if it's your mother or something, pick up the phone. And like I would, it's really deep, but like anyone with family, like pick up the phone. Like just do not let it be because you don't know what could happen. I would hate to be that person who ignores it, and then that's the last phone call you had was the one before. So
Mm,
that's a bit of a deep one, but yeah, 100% the respect of it. Yeah, respond.
yeah, yeah. It's a good one. Do you have any others? Give us one more to round it out. Give us three.
Oh, yeah, I'll send them out to you if you want. I'm happy to. We can have a little shared document.
Yeah.
Um, what else? There's a couple. This marketing manager the other day actually said, what was this? Um, where is your North Star going to be? Which I've never heard that before. So like, where do you want your North Star to be? Like, where I guess it comes the way it takes away the journey piece of like, but it also reflects on it too. Like, where do you want your North Star to be, and what direction do you want to go in?
Mm,
But yeah, process driven, not outcome driven, all those sort of stuff.
yeah.
But also this is a big one too. Do the small things right, and the big things will come. The small
Mm,
cracks become big problems. Look after them. So that's probably a couple of key ones. And that one was from Ken Hinkley. I remember hearing him talking like a behind the scenes video with Port Adelaide. So yeah, I think they all relate to something. I'll give you one more though. I'm probably rambling on a bit, but
no,
this
no,
actually almost made me tear up. It was an old fella. He was 100 and I think 10 years old, and he was on an interview, And he said, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. And the way he spoke about that is around like, I think it just showed scare, like he looked scared and the fear in there, like knowing, like he's old, like anything could happen. So yeah, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. Like I think all of them just relate to being in the present, and yeah, it's pretty
You
cool.
know what that's all?
Nah,
Kung Fu Panda.
is it,
Yeah. The
mate?
setbacks from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, mate, are you a movie man?
No, I'm not, but that's pretty iconic.
Well, there you go. I am not. I reckon I've watched about 8 movies in my lifetime, and
Yeah,
probably all of them have been Fast and Furious and a couple others. Like,
yeah.
mate, I'm at give me for a TV show, but like I saw how that just shows where the society's going. I've seen that on an Instagram reel with an old bloke. Um, so
I
he's
mean,
probably
it's
seen Kung
probably
Fu
someone's
Panda.
quote, but it is quoted
Yeah.
on Kung Fu Panda. Yeah,
Well, there you go. Or he's probably watched Kung Fu Panda a few times and he's rolled with it in an interview at 110 years old.
fucking hell, it's good on him.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, few quotes.
What's your North Star then? What's keeping you moving forward?
I think from a, I'll just say just try and, I'm a big believer on like living life and just seeing where it takes you.
Hmm.
Whether it's career, football, family, all that sort of stuff. I just think just being motivated, being true to yourself, and I think just trying stuff, just living the day as it is. What will come? You have your bad days, you have your good days. Like just try and get better each day, whether it's or week to week, whatever it may be, and everything. But I don't know where my North Star will be. Like I'm not going to say I want to be like a CEO of a company or anything like that. Like that's just not authentic from my point of view. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's honestly just yeah, like there's some things I'm looking forward to around holidays and all that sort of stuff at the end of the year, going to Europe and a few trips away. But other than that, mate, I just want to be the best I can be and just get, I guess, to take every opportunity what presents itself, what's going to benefit me in the way of my career and life too.
Mm.
Um, Failing as well, like taking opportunities, saying yes to things, but learning from it too. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going to be and where that takes me, but I'm a motivated person who wants to be the best version of myself and grow and learn and I
Mm.
guess yeah, age is just a number and see where it takes me.
Nice. What are some things you're doing to help you become the best version of yourself?
I think just taking a moment to like, I guess not cruise, but like routine's a big thing for me too. So like I'm big on my calendar. Like my calendar's stacked, but as we spoke about before, um, like not relying on it too. Like
Yeah.
being able to pivot and juggle and all that sort of stuff. But um, I think setting up routines around like I love my morning coffee. I love walking my dog, being there with my family, all that sort of stuff, and then yeah, rocking up to training and being the best version of I can and doing the extras and things like that. And then also work point of view, just yeah, living in that and striving and kicking goals and all that sort of stuff. I think it's just all yeah, creating routine and good habits around what you do and just having a crack at everything. That's pretty much what. And I know, I wouldn't say I've got an exact measure. I know I do like to set measurable goals, but I think I haven't this year really have a measure on where and what I want to do because
Mm.
I feel like it's just taking me on its journey and it's already halfway through the year and I'm very happy with where I am. I wouldn't say I'm content because I don't like being content with where I am because I feel like that's where you start to get complacent. But I would say, yeah, I'm just taking the year as it comes. But I do know there are some things where I'm going right. I'm kicking goals and I'm doing all the right things. Just keep moving forward.
Nice. And how does your girlfriend help you be the best person you can be?
Anyone who can live with me, they deserve all props. I tell you what, I'm probably a difficult person to live with. No, she's a ripper. She's yeah, definitely a rock. And I think what she does is she just lets me vent when I need to. She's there for me. I think we manage stuff well around being able to make time for each other. I think a big thing for us, like little monthly date nights and or whatever it may be, activities and all that sort of stuff, and taking time together um, gives me the best version for myself and also for her. But we've got a healthy relationship. I think it's just like we've got our own things to do, and we do things together. And sometimes, life does get in the way and you get in ruts around little things. But yeah, I feel she copes with me in football season and having an injury right now. She's probably feeling it a bit. I'm just that itchy to get out. And I think last night it was funny. I was complaining about blackout blinds and saying I need to have the room more black so we can have better sleep or something like that. I was just carrying on like a pork chop. But no, I think the good thing about our relationship, we get each other and where we need to be and when we need to be left alone, or also when we need to pull each other up to and have a stern word to each other. So yeah, it's solid.
It's cool. Well, moving on to future goals then.
Yeah.
So obviously injured, come back. You want to come back. Scoresby are not doing too well at the moment.
Mm.
If we can finish round out the year of footy for you, what does that hopefully look like? What are the goals for that one?
I think from that perspective, it's I'm tracking along nicely with this hamstring injury, so I'm feeling strong. I'm going at a good pace where I'm not um, I'm not looking to come back too early or I'm tracking behind. So I think for the boys, it's just we just want to have a good crack and really we haven't got going yet, and we have dealt with some injuries, but for the end of the year and some goals with around football, it's probably we definitely want to stay strong in Division Two and stay there. I think we are definitely at that level, and we can
Mm.
really compete. Like I've seen some of the signs, what some of the boys are doing, and how we're playing. We have so many great moments. It's just there are some things there we've got to work on, but for us to really get it, I don't want to be that team, and I'm pretty competitive. I don't want us to just be that team to just stay up and have a couple of wins and get through. I want us to really shock the league. And at the start of the year, that's what it was looking like. But things get in the way, and it's like, how can we overcome this and get better? But we're getting some players back. I'm excited to contribute too. I feel vulnerable as anyone at the moment, not being able to contribute. So, and I hate that. And I've been in that situation before. And as we spoke about around me missing out through injury and all that sort of stuff, and missing a grand final a couple of years ago, it's definitely given me perspective in this, and yeah, supporting the boys. And I think if we stay up and have a few wins, and actually, like, it's not too late to still make finals. It's such a competitive comp. I think from third to sixth, like it's 2 games or something, if that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think let's see what it brings. And we've got a big challenge this week against Templestowe. So if the boys can knock off them, your old mob
Done.
Lilydale beat them.
Yeah. Can be done.
So yeah.
Dude, if there's anything you can take away, I'd be looking at Lilydale's change from last year to this year. Obviously, I was there last year. Same thing. We
Mm.
started like a house on fire. They finished second last. We started the year two and one, looking awesome.
Yeah.
Played beat last the year before's grand final. So we didn't win another game for the rest of the year. Coach got sacked, new coach, and now they've already won more games than they did last year. Knocked off
Yeah.
Templestowe, who are undefeated on top, who they dealt with us pretty easily last time. So if you
Mm.
follow that blueprint, and funnily enough, like the coach they brought in, rip and bloke, but it was so much simpler, the game plan. Like you just let the boys play footy, where the previous coach
Yeah.
was also a great coach, but very different, like a lot more structured and
Mm.
game plan focused. But I think I don't know what's going on a little. I'm not even in the state, but I think they'll
Yeah.
be playing for a lot more freedom, um, and it's working. So I think if they could do it, so can you guys.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, mate. Really do. So our coach, I've only been back at Scoresby this year for a short period of time, and being
Mm.
back at the junior club, and what that is. It's such a great environment, and like you said, the pressure of just like letting the boys play football. Um, our coach is so driven on process and getting better and learning, but also some hard truths as well. You need to be whacked between the ears a couple of times to see what's going on and seek reality. But yeah, we've definitely, and it's cliche to say when people back their own team, but I tell you what, this club is it is something special, and that's why I'm back there, and I really want to be a part of it for the second half of the year, and support the boys and get some
Mm.
wins, because there's nothing better, as you know, that few minutes after the win, and everyone's celebrating and sticking together, and then football, you can get lost in what's next, and I'm excited to get back to that feeling.
Mm. Yeah, and then obviously, the aim will be to get back to Darwin and feature in the Premier League for Banks in some capacity, which would be cool.
Yeah,
And then what
100%.
happens from there? So, would you look to go into coaching later on, or?
I'm actually on the Banks thing. Let's go for the club 3 in a row. Let's take it to the Premier League, I reckon. But for coaching, it's funny. I'm never actually. Um, my grandfather actually once said he reckons I'd be a good coach. He reckons I'd be. I've always been good with younger kids around guidance and football, and I've loved helping. Like when we do some stuff at the club with the Oz kickers or the juniors. Like I knew the Murrabina juniors. I loved being around. They were such a good bunch of kids, but
Mhm.
um, I've never really taken that interest in the pathway of that. I haven't thought about it too much, but I do love helping people, and I feel like I've got some strengths around seeing some things in football and helping others. But I guess that will be something maybe later in life. I think I wouldn't coach and play. I don't think I would like to be involved as a player and coach. Um, I think it would be when I'm retired and the mine's sort of done, and it's probably all right. How can I get back and help support too? Now you probably say it. I think it'd be pretty cool to coach your own kids, but then also that
Mm.
can probably come with its um, detriment as well. And as I said before, the emotional connection of being too close. But I think that would be pretty cool. I would like to do that maybe one day.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely something I love to do is coach my own kids. I'm not too sure about senior footy. Hey, like it's a big
Mm.
commitment.
I've seen what some of my coaches have done, and I tell you what, they deserve to be paid like as a full time, like that
Yeah,
as their job, or like at least semi professional, because there's stuff people don't see behind the scenes. Like I think of me calling my old coaches all the time, just to talk or scenarios and things like that, and analyze the game and all these things, and that was just me. And they've got 45 players on their list. They've got committee. They've got women's team, all that sort of stuff. Like it's yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm pretty close with Robbie, the guru, and
Yes, yes.
it's the same thing. It is a full-time job. You're doing more than 40 hours a week, being there for training,
Yeah,
setting up training, after training, and then you've got to do, if you're at a senior level, recruiting,
yeah.
all the politics, all the other things, making sure everything's all right, all the things that can't go wrong. It's not just
Mm,
playing or setting up a game. So I like doing the Colts. That's good fun, and it's a pretty good
mm,
level up in Queensland. Um, but yeah, I enjoy my freedom and spare time, so it would have to
yeah.
be a job. Like it would have to be full time gig, and I think in some leagues it's getting to that.
It
Uh,
is. Yeah, yeah,
so maybe if that opportunity presented itself, but
yeah.
it's a while
I
away.
think I don't know. I think it would be probably if you. I would like to get the right support behind me too, and get a
Mm.
really good group to do that. I've seen that at Murrabina and the success we've had there around what that looks like. And if you've got the support behind you and a group, I think that because you want success too, you don't want to just
Yeah,
be there.
for sure.
But you're right. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit selfish in that way too. I like my own time and all that sort of stuff, and it would definitely have to be probably a job.
Yeah,
Some
like
can, some can, some can't.
if I found myself living back in Vic and back home again, like it'd be cool to help Sky get out of where they are. They're in Division
Mm,
Three and not doing too well at the moment. Like it'd be cool to rally the troops and help pick them back up.
yeah,
I could see myself doing that, and at that level, it's I don't think it is as full-time job sort of thing, but it's definitely demanding at a small club.
Yeah,
Um, that definitely would be a goal, I think, one day, and definitely coaching my own kids would be
yeah.
fun. But yeah,
Well, you're on the right direction around the stuff you're doing with yeah, football programs and all that sort of stuff, and
yeah,
helping people across Australia where you've been travelling. So keep that up, mate. I think that we need more people like that to help and some more support and promote. And yeah, like I think it's some people don't get that opportunity either, and like someone like you is putting the hand out and helping them, and
mm,
driving that too in small little towns like you're living up in Noosa and all that sort of stuff. It's like wow, like there's probably not much of that, but it is growing.
yeah, 100%. Anything else you want to leave us with? Any goals you want to put out into the universe so we can look back
Oh,
and say, "Hey, you said it was going to happen here."
um, I don't know. I probably just think um, hopefully I said win a flag. That'd be pretty cool. um, no, but no, I think just keep working. Anyone out there around, keep being in the present, working hard, and just keep. I guess you say shoot for your North Star and where that takes, and just embrace the journey. I don't. It's pretty easy to say to like overthinkers, like, and we've both spoken about it. We've gone through that before, but yeah, it's pretty easy to say like just calm down and don't overthink. But it is out there, and like you do face these challenges, and people overthink,
Mhm.
and the stress and anxiety come from a lot of things. But I hope a little bit of that. We've chewed the fat for just over an hour now, and what that looks like, and um, just yeah, just keep being better and getting better, and just embrace the journey because yeah, people go through this in life, and it's all a part of it.
Beauty. Love it. Well, I think you said it before. I think it'd be a good one to put out there. It's Banks with the Premier League flag
Yeah,
at the end of the season.
100%.
Pretty cool. Um,
Yeah,
in chatting to some other blokes about coming up, so we'll see how that plays out. But I reckon we'll have a pretty strong list. We'll be able to shock some people, which would be cool.
mate, we've got some over the last few years. There's been some good players who've gone through Banks, and yeah, get some back. We'll get some new ones in, and yeah, get the guru working, and he might have to yeah, step up his game one more, and yeah, go for another flag. I reckon.
Bloody oath. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Dario. It's been a great chat. And yeah, thanks everybody for made it to the end. Please give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, all that. It really does feed the algorithm and helps us out a lot. So that would be greatly appreciated. Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers, Scriv. Thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks, mate.